What's up, people? In today's video I will be camping in a huge forest, trying to build a shelter with just a tarp and try to avoid the rain, navigate through the dense big forest and hopefully not get mauled by wild boars. Enjoy! What's up, party people? So today we're out back in the woods, or not we, me, myself and I, because Ragnar is sick today, unfortunately. So I will be, or unfortunately, I think it's quite nice to be alone too. So I think we will manage maybe even better. So I drove to a big ass forest, not too far from where we live, and I just went straight out, and I don't even know which direction I went. I just went out, and I think I'm looking for a bit of a higher ground, which I have found, and maybe like a fallen over tree, or a big rock like this. It's animal tracks and poop everywhere, so I'm not alone, so that's nice. I at least have animals when I don't have Ragnar with me. But this is kind of what I'm looking for. I have seen a bunch of these on the way, but they weren't really that good for different reasons. But this one actually looks okay. I think I can work with this. And I have a tent with me on this trip, just because it was last minute planning. So I brought it with me in case. But I might just take the outer, like, tarp part of the tent and try to build something with just a roof and maybe fix the flooring, and try to make it look okay at least. And if that doesn't work, I will just pitch the tent somewhere. So I have a backup plan. But I'm gonna place my bag and everything here, and then I'm gonna have a look around to see what I got in the area, and if I maybe find even a better spot, then I will just change locations. See you. The first thing to do is I will remove a lot of the shit on top of the rock here, because I don't want that to accidentally fall on top of me. Even if I will have a tarp here, I want to clear this a bit at least. Then I'm going to clear a lot of this, try to even the ground out, and make space so I have room for myself, my stuff, and hopefully a fire. I don't know where I will put the fire, but somewhere I will put the fire. a nice surprise. I found a big ass rock right where I'm supposed to sleep, and I think this is way too big to dig out, so I'm gonna just cover it with dirt and try to level everything out so I can sleep on top of it. I will also cover this with a lot of these types of branches so I can make it a bit softer, because I suspect that I will not be doing a great job of leveling and making it soft. So the sleeping area is more or less done. I will add finishing touches if I need them. I have just hooked a loop to a branch there, and this is, as I said, the top or outer part of a tent that I was carrying, 3-person tent. So this is windproof and waterproof, and yeah, extremely good for all kinds of weather. And then I have tied one loop to a tree, so we have some form of roof, and then I just put it on top of a rock and just piled a lot of heavy rocks and wood on top of it, and I put a lot of these branches on the floor, so it actually feels okay. But as I said, I will be doing finishing touches later if I need them. Add a light here, and that actually worked better than I thought. I'm actually okay with this, and I think I'm gonna have the fire about here. And I'm gonna continue working and get back to you in just a bit. So now I will try to build a wind shelter for the fire, which I'm gonna place here. Should be close enough for warmth, should be far away so I don't burn tonight. So I will place these kinds of logs extremely wet, so it will take a very long time before they catch fire. I will place them on top of each other, like as high as I want the fire, basically. But obviously they're gonna tip over, so I will take these kinds of sticks, which are just found, laying just 10 meters away from here, and these branches can fuck off. These are enough for a fire, I believe. I believe inside they are quite dry, so I will save the thicker parts. Nice. I will save this to add to the fire later, but these middle parts I think could work very good. That's okay. And then place them behind the wind protection. So when I stack the logs at the height that they would just fall over, then they can balance on those sticks. That's not good. That's way too bent. Turn it. There. That should work. We will see. I'm lucky today. Perfect logs just magically appears. That usually don't happen when we go on these trips. Luck is not on our side ever. If you need a knife for any kinds of outdoors or basically anything work related, Morakniv, I can't remember what the model is called, but that is great. Durable, sharp, you can throw it around, do whatever you want. Couple of more logs and I think I'm happy. These are quite good. This one is very good, but a bit small. This is good. I will find more. These are okay. Maybe take this side. So I will see what I can do with this, if I can piece them together as good as possible to make like a one unit base. I will maybe also dig them down a bit so the foundation of the fire is at ground level and not this high up. So let's see what I can come up with. There we go. It's not the best one ever, but I think it works. You can just place wood here and I think it will work. It's better than the ground right now. Here's the wind protection. So right now I think the next step is to go and find some firewood and dry pieces of wood that I can make to tinder and fire starter. So let's go do it. Pieces of wood that can help you start a fire is by taking dead dry sticks or branches or whatever you can find that is off the ground, because if it's in the ground, especially in wet places, it will just soak up all the water. So I found just a couple of sticks, and the best way to trick it, in my opinion, is to just take the stick and shave off the bark, shave off a couple of layers, and then feel, and inside here it's dry, at least dry enough. The bark is wet, but often inside they're quite dry. So then just continue shaving and put it on a dry place, so a plastic bag or the cover of your tent or whatever you can find that's dry, because you don't want to have the shavings and then put them on the ground or put them where you're supposed to have the fire, because it will, these are so thin that if they touch water they will just soak up, and then it's much more difficult. So just take pieces off until it's as dry as possible, and then just take as thin pieces as possible, shavings, and put them in the piler. So these kinds of dead tree, it's laying down, so that's not a good sign, but it's a bit elevated, it's on rocks, and I mean, I could be lucky, but probably not. But I usually just go and take a chop and it's actually quite dry, so I will be taking that. So there we go. I got a pile of firewood that's actually dry. I got my fire starter that has gotten actually a bit wet, which is not optimal. I did leave it open like this, so not that smart. And then I put the branches and very thin pieces here. I will now try to start the fire. And I am gonna use a, let's see if I can find, I am gonna use a cotton piece to help me a bit with this, because as usual everything's wet. Okay, so I got the fire started. I got a little amber and kept blowing and kept adding some wood and just ran off to get some birch bark. because that is the shit. I did use, unfortunately, a lighter again because the fire striker is broken, as I said last time, and we haven't gone to get another one yet. I will lay on Ragnar to fix that problem, but I will try to get this to catch. This probably works. I might be putting up walls there and there if I have the time and if I feel like it. But for now, this is good. Let's keep the fire going. I'm hungry. I'm really hungry, so I need to get some food, which I have. Let's move in the rest of my stuff. And then I think I have to go get more firewood. I put the waterproof protection over the firewood I have, but this is not gonna be enough for the whole night. So let's go. Okay, so the fire is going, but I don't have that much material, so I need to constantly help it to stay alive. But I'm hungry, so I'm gonna do a meal. I think I'm gonna do one of these dried chicken thing. So I think I will be quite set in here tonight. The smoke is going out thanks to wind protection, so it doesn't blow into me. I'm gonna, of course, clean this up a bit, so it otherwise I can't lay down. Here's my camping kitchen. A pan, forks and spoons and knives, and plates and mugs, and this is quite nice. You can pack it up to a small size, doesn't weigh anything at all, barely. So let's boil up some water. I think I'm gonna make a cup of coffee too, because I really feel like it. I have water with me too. And I don't want to build like a hanging station over the fire to hang anything above it to cook or boil or anything, because I don't want to make the fire that high, because I have a lot of branches and also the roof of the camp just above here, so I don't want the fire any higher than this. So I'm just gonna place it straight on, or just take some big logs and place it on the side of the fire and put this on. Let's boil some water. There we go, the water is somewhat boiling. But I'm hungry, so I'm gonna take it off. Ooh, hot, very hot handle. It's made of plastic. That's the only dumb part about it. There we go. A bit more. And then water in my coffee cup. It's a red and a blue one of everything except the forks and everything. And I always have the red one and Ragnar always has the blue one. So I will continue respecting that separation of ours, and I will not be touching his blue stuff. Not that I want anyway, because blue is ugly. I just went a couple of meters from the camp to use the restroom, and I found these, which is wild boar poop, and it's fairly new. And I've seen a lot just around the campsite and in a big area of these forests. So, and all of these like ground that has been mashed up, that's wild boar too. And the campsite is just here, so it's not that far. There's tracks of them eating and pooping all over. But I mean, that's maybe one of the worst animals you can get around these parts, because like every other animal kind of stays away, and they do too, but they're not as afraid, and their senses is not as, they're a lot better than mine, of course, but not as sharp as many other animals that as soon as they hear me or smell me or anything, they will just bolt off long before I even see them. But boars, they don't have as good of, for example, sight as many other animals, so it can happen that they accidentally stumble upon humans, sometimes even like go after humans because they're too close to the family or their area, their like own area. But I'm not too worried about it. It would be cool to catch them on film if they would come by here, but I think the fire and smoke maybe draws them away. Let's see. We'll see. So I'm just over here taking the bark off these branches because that's very wet and the inside is okay. Then I'm putting them by the fire like I did with a lot of these logs and branches because they're wet, so I put them beside the fire and they will dry out, so I then can put it in. And the fire is thinning out, and a good tip is take whatever you have that is thin and so you can use as a fan, and that's always easier than blowing on it. That works pretty damn well. Look for more firewood because my pile is more or less out, and this is not gonna be enough for tonight. It's gonna last maybe an hour or so. So I'm gonna go out to what is now a very dark forest. It's not super late, but it's very dark. It gets dark these times here, and you surely Doesn't help that I'm in the thick forest. But it's still okay in this camp. This shelter is most definitely better than the last one. So yeah, I will continue with this. Go get some fire, wood. Alright, I'm back and I just cooked my homemade hamburger, and they're pale because they're chicken burgers, not because I'm shit at cooking. So it's dinner time, which I'm looking forward to because now I'm hungry. But this is all the firewood I have left. So unfortunately, straight after the dinner, I think I have to go and fetch some new wood. Which I'm not looking forward to, because I can't even see a meter in front of me. It's extremely dark. But I will do what I have to do. I haven't heard any more animal screams, so that's nice. That means either they're gone very, very far, or they're extremely close and want to stay quiet. But as I said earlier, if they're close, then I'm gonna have a sleeping body tonight. Whatever it is, I'm gonna tackle it down and put it in my sleeping bag. So here we are, still at the fire, trying to dry my socks a bit. Placed my shoes quite near the fire, but not too near, so they stay toasty to tomorrow. And I'm head down my sleeping bag quite soon, which I'm looking forward to. It's actually getting pretty late and I hear a owl hooing just a couple of trees down, I think. So I will just get my feet toasty and I will jump down my sleeping bag and hopefully sleep pretty soon and wake up quite early to get the fire started again, because I'm guessing it will die pretty soon after I want to sleep. I'm in my sleeping bag and I usually don't sleep in my outer pants and my fleece, but that is what I will be doing tonight, because if I have to get up, which I almost suspect I will, then I will be quick. I usually just sleep in like the thermal clothes or whatever, and still have the fleece and the pants inside the sleeping bag, so they're toasty when I put them on in the morning or when I get up. But today I'm gonna sleep in them to make it even more effective, and I just hope and pray that it don't rain tonight, because I have moved the mattress and the sleeping bag out like 3 decimeters from the back wall, because I put the fire too far away. I thought the heat was gonna like make it all the way, and I do feel the heat, but I just calculated it a bit wrong. So I am still under the roof, but not as much as I hoped. I was first under there, but now if I just roll to my right a bit, then I'm almost out of it. So I just hope that it don't start pouring rain. My pillow for tonight is gonna be, I have waterproof pants that I have really thin. They're just for waterproof, in case these get drenched or whatever. I just need to change. And inside of those I have rolled up my backup fleece and socks and underwear, and I would just roll this up to a ball and use it as a pillow, which is what I usually have. So I will just keep this fire going as long as I'm awake. The firewood is at least in reach, so this works. Hopefully I'll sleep very soon and I don't have to get up. Talk to you tomorrow. So, good morning. So what I really didn't want to happen happened, and it's raining. So things here are quite wet. The roof is okay, but as I said earlier, I have scooted a bit to the right, so out of the roof almost. I'm under, but you know, the rain always finds a way. So I will pack some stuff up and see if I can get the fire started. And go from there. What's up, party people? I'm sitting here in the rain, but with a fire at least. And I've made the most important thing of all when doing this kind of camping, and it's the coffee. The fire is actually going better than I thought, and I will be having this bag of soup for breakfast, and I will be having it cold because I do not want to deal with those dishes right now. So I think I would just have to cope with cold soup. It is what it is. So a smart thing that I usually do, or smart, it's quite basic, but you should do it either way. Right now my breakfast is done, so I'm drying everything by the fire before putting it in the bag. So I'm just laying it quite near the fire, and then I'm gonna put it straight into the bag or pocket or wherever it's supposed to go, instead of putting everything just drenched and covered in mud and everything. So that's a smart thing to do. And then I will disassemble the shelter. The last thing that you should touch in this case is of course the roof, and I suspect that there's a pool of water up there, but we will see. That's the last thing I will be touching. Everything else goes first. See you soon. Okay, I've packed almost everything. The fire is almost out, at least. I will put it completely out soon, but it's time to disassemble this. So, woo, let's go! Alright, the disassembly of the camp is done, and it's all done from here. Here's my rock friend, Dwayne, I call him, and it's, even if it maybe doesn't look like it on camera, but it actually has finally came some light, so I can actually see something here. So now for maybe the biggest challenge is to try to find the way back. But thanks to my wristband here, I know a rough direction, and I have spent a lot of time like this deep in woods, so I'm pretty confident that it won't be an extreme challenge. But no, maybe jinxed it. Let's see. Well, would you look at this? We made it again with the help of the recognition of some trees and rocks and stuff, and a bit of knowledge about the forest. And we're back. Now, thanks for watching this, and as I said earlier, comment something you would like to see, any form of camping or fishing or what we should do, whatever. See you in the next one.